Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to pause, to take a deep breath, and to truly listen, not just to my words, but to the power that lies in the silence between them. We live in a world that's constantly buzzing. Notifications, messages, opinions, arguments. Everywhere you turn, someone has something to say, something to share, something to prove. Yet in the midst of all this noise, many of us have forgotten one of the most powerful tools we possess: the power of silence. Silence is more than just the absence of sound. It is the birthplace of wisdom, the sanctuary where thoughts are born and ideas are nurtured. In a society that equates noise with importance, we often mistake silence for weakness, but in reality, silence is strength. It's the strength to hold back when every fiber of your being wants to react. It's the strength to listen, to reflect, and to choose your response with intention rather than impulse. Ladies and gentlemen, think about the times when you've been drawn into arguments that left you feeling empty. Think about the times when you spoke too soon, said too much, and later regretted every word. Now imagine if, in those moments, you had chosen silence instead. Imagine if you had given yourself the space to breathe, to think, and to protect your peace. How many battles could you have avoided? How much energy could you have saved? The truth is, not every battle is worth fighting. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every person deserves your explanation. Silence teaches us that sometimes the best response is no response at all. It's a shield that guards your mind, your time, and your spirit from unnecessary drama. It's a filter that helps you separate the voices that matter from the ones that don't. It's a reminder that your energy is precious and that you don't owe it to everyone who demands it. But let's take it even deeper. Silence is not just about avoiding conflict or saving energy. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about understanding that your voice is valuable and that it doesn't need to be shared with everyone. It's about choosing when to speak and when to hold back, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. When you master the art of silence, you become a master of your own life. You stop being a puppet pulled by the strings of other people's opinions and start living on your own terms. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we journey through this script together, I challenge you to embrace the power of silence. Use it as a shield to protect your peace, as a sword to cut off what no longer serves you, and as a reminder that your energy is yours to guard. Because in a world full of noise, the person who controls their silence controls their destiny. Let's begin. The power of silence. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a powerful force that can transform your life if you let it. In a world that's always buzzing, notifications, calls, messages, constant opinions, choosing to be silent isn't a weakness. It's a strategy. It's a conscious decision to pull back your energy and protect your mind from distractions, negativity, and chaos. So think about it. How many times have you said something you later regretted, simply because you reacted too quickly? How many times have you been dragged into arguments, drama, or negativity that left you drained, simply because you didn't pause? Silence gives you that pause. It gives you space to think, to reflect, to process. It's in that space that wisdom is born. When you're silent, you're not just refusing to engage with the noise of the world, you're also learning to listen to yourself, to the lessons life is teaching you, to the truth that lies beneath the surface. People often mistake silence for weakness or indifference, but in reality, it's the opposite. It takes strength to hold your tongue, to not react, to keep your composure when everyone else is trying to pull you into their chaos. Silence is also a form of respect. Respect for yourself and for the situation you're in. It allows you to respond instead of react, to choose your words with care instead of blurting out something you can't take back. In silence, you become a master of your emotions rather than a slave to them. And let's not forget, silence is a mystery. It makes people curious. When you're always talking, always available, people take you for granted. But when you step back and embrace silence, you become an enigma, a challenge they can't solve, a puzzle they can't figure out. That's power. Use silence as a shield. Let it protect your peace, your energy, your time. Don't waste your words on people who don't value them. Don't waste your breath on arguments that won't change anything. Remember that not every battle is worth fighting. And sometimes silence is the strongest statement you can make. In a noisy world, silence is your sanctuary. It's where you can recharge, reflect, and reconnect with your true self. It's where you can separate the voices that matter from the ones that don't. Because at the end of the day, your energy is precious. Protect it. Use your silence as a reminder that you don't owe everyone your words. And sometimes, the loudest statement you can make is the one you don't say at all. Cutting off contacts. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is cut off contact with the people who drain your energy, waste your time, or simply don't have your best interest at heart. Cutting off contacts isn't an act of cruelty, it's an act of self-love. It's choosing to prioritize your peace, your growth, and your happiness above the demands and expectations of others. Too often, we keep people in our lives out of habit, guilt, or fear of being alone. We hold on to friendships that have expired, relationships that no longer inspire us, and connections that only exist because we're afraid of what might happen if we let them go. But let me tell you something, holding on to dead weight will only slow you down. It's time to be honest with yourself. Who in your life truly supports you? Who challenges you to grow? Who shows up for you when you need them? And who only calls when they need something? Who drains your energy with negativity, gossip, or constant complaints? Who belittles your dreams, mocks your progress, or pretends to care just enough to keep you around? When you cut off contacts, you're not being heartless. You're choosing to respect yourself. You're acknowledging that your time is precious and that not everyone deserves access to it. You're making a powerful statement that says, my peace is more important than pleasing people who don't value me. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from people who keep bringing you down. If someone always has a problem, always needs your help, but never supports you, always expects you to be available, but disappears when you need them, that's a one-sided relationship, and it's time to let it go. You don't need to announce it. You don't owe anyone a long explanation. Sometimes silence is the best answer. Stop picking up the phone. Stop responding to the texts that drain you. Stop forcing conversations that only leave you feeling empty. When you cut off contacts, you create space for the people who truly matter. The ones who lift you up, inspire you, and respect your journey. Remember, not everyone you lose is a loss. Some people are lessons, reminders of who you used to be and how far you've come. Others are blessings in disguise, teaching you to value yourself enough to walk away. Cutting off contacts is about setting boundaries and protecting your energy. It's about creating a life that reflects who you are becoming, not who you used to be. It's a declaration that you're no longer available for drama, negativity, and people who refuse to grow. So if you're serious about leveling up, start by looking at who you allow into your life. Protect your peace like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Let your silence speak for itself, and watch how your life transforms when you choose to cut off contacts that no longer serve you, reclaiming your power. When you embrace silence and cut off unnecessary contacts, something incredible begins to happen. You reclaim your power. You start to realize that your time, energy, and attention are the most valuable resources you have. And when you control where those resources go, you become unstoppable. Reclaiming your power means recognizing that you are the main character in your story, not a sidekick in someone else's drama. It means you're no longer available for toxic relationships, draining conversations, and people who don't respect your boundaries. It means you decide who has access to your mind, your emotions, and your life. Every time you choose silence instead of engaging in unnecessary arguments, you're taking back your power. Every time you ignore the text from someone who only calls when they need something, you're taking back your power. Every time you choose to invest your energy in things that nourish you instead of things that drain you, you're taking back your power. People might notice the change in you, and not everyone will like it. Some will call you cold, distant, or selfish. But understand this. It's not selfish to protect your peace. It's not cold to refuse to be part of someone else's chaos. It's not distant to create boundaries that keep you focused on your goals. It's called self-respect. Reclaiming your power also means learning to trust yourself. When you stop seeking validation from everyone around you, you start listening to your own voice. You realize that you don't need everyone's approval to do what's right for you. You don't need to explain your choices to people who wouldn't understand them anyway. You learn to stand firm in your truth, even if it means standing alone. It's in this space of silence and distance that you can truly hear your inner voice, the one that knows your dreams, your potential, and your worth. That voice gets drowned out in a world full of noise, opinions, and demands. But when you cut off the noise, that voice becomes clear and strong. Reclaiming your power also means understanding that you are responsible for your own happiness. No one else can do that work for you. No one else can make you feel fulfilled or successful or at peace. That's your job. And when you stop giving away your energy to people who don't appreciate it, you have more to invest in yourself, your dreams, and your future. So today, make a commitment to yourself. Reclaim your power, protect your energy, choose your peace over pleasing others, use silence as your shield and cutting off context as your sword, because at the end of the day, this is your life and you deserve to live it on your own terms, unapologetically and powerfully, letting go of the fear. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with silence and cutting off contacts is fear. Fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear of what others might think. But if you truly want to grow, you have to let go of that fear and embrace your own path. Fear keeps you stuck in places you've outgrown. It whispers that you will be nothing without certain people, that you will lose your identity if you walk away, that you will miss out on something important if you stop talking to them. But let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Fear thrives on your insecurities and feeds off your doubts. If you let it control you, you'll stay in relationships that drain you, keep giving your time to people who don't deserve it, and keep living a life that isn't truly yours. Letting go of fear means realizing that your worth isn't tied to how many friends you have or how many likes you get. It means understanding that true growth often happens in silence, in solitude, in those moments when you choose yourself over everyone else. When you learn to be okay with being alone, you discover just how powerful you really are. Fear will always try to convince you that you're not enough on your own. It'll tell you that you need validation from others to feel complete. But the truth is, you are already whole. You have everything you need inside you to build the life you want. Cutting off context isn't about creating enemies or burning bridges. It's about making room for the people who truly matter, the people who inspire you, and the opportunities that align with your purpose. Sometimes the people you let go of will try to guilt you. They'll call you selfish or accuse you of changing, but growth requires change. You cannot stay in the same place, surrounded by the same noise, and expect to become the person you're meant to be. Don't let guilt trick you into shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Letting go of fear also means letting go of the need to explain yourself. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace over chaos. You don't owe anyone an explanation for deciding to protect your energy. Your journey is yours to walk, and not everyone deserves a front row seat. When you finally let go of the fear that keeps you tied to people who no longer serve you, you make space for growth, healing, and transformation. You free yourself to focus on your goals, your dreams, and the life you truly want to build. So let go of the fear that says you can't. Let go of the doubt that says you'll be alone forever. Trust that the right people and opportunities will find you when you're living in your truth, not in fear. Fear might knock on your door, but you don't have to let it in. Be brave enough to choose silence when needed, to walk away from what no longer serves you, and to trust that by letting go of fear, you're making room for something greater, embracing the growth. When you choose silence and cut off the noise around you, something magical happens. You create a space where true growth can begin. Growth doesn't happen in chaos. It doesn't flourish in the middle of constant distractions, gossip, and negativity. Growth happens when you step back, quiet the noise, and give yourself the time and space to reflect, heal, and evolve. Embracing the growth means looking in the mirror and asking yourself the hard questions. Who am I becoming? What do I want? What am I willing to let go of to reach my highest potential? Too many people go through life on autopilot. stuck in the same patterns, surrounded by the same people and living the same story. But when you cut off the contacts that no longer align with your vision, you break free from that cycle. Growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's often painful. You might feel lonely at times. You might second guess your decision to walk away from certain people. You might miss the familiar even if it wasn't good for you. That's normal. But remember, the pain of growth is temporary. The pain of staying stuck is permanent. Growth requires discipline. It means saying no to the invitations that don't align with your goals. It means choosing your dreams over instant gratification. It means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better, not just people who make you feel comfortable. Growth is about becoming the best version of yourself, even if that means leaving some people behind. Don't let anyone guilt you into staying the same just because it makes them feel better. If your silence and distance make people uncomfortable, that's their problem, not yours. You're not here to shrink to fit into their expectations. You're here to rise, to shine, and to build the life you want. Embracing the growth also means investing in yourself. Read the books, learn the skills, take care of your health and nurture your passions. Do the things that set your soul on fire. When you choose yourself, you inspire others to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible when you have the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. Remember, your journey is yours alone. No one else can walk it for you, and not everyone can come with you. That's okay. Some people are lessons, some are blessings, and some are simply not meant to be part of your story anymore. Thank them for what they taught you and let them go. Embrace the growth that comes from silence and cutting off contacts. Trust the process, trust yourself, and know that every step you take toward becoming the person you were meant to be is a step toward a life of purpose, peace, and power. Living in your power. Now that you've embraced silence, cut off the contacts that drain you, and faced your fears, it's time to fully step into your power. Living in your power means embodying the lessons you've learned, walking confidently in your purpose, and refusing to let anything or anyone dim your light. When you live in your power, you don't just survive. You thrive. You stop seeking permission to be who you are. You stop explaining your worth to people who never truly saw it in the first place. You stop watering yourself down to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Instead, you stand tall, fully aware of your value, your strength, and your potential. Living in your power means setting boundaries and enforcing them. It means knowing that your time and energy are precious and you get to decide who deserves them. No more feeling obligated to say yes when your heart says no. No more stretching yourself thin to please everyone else while neglecting your own needs. Living in your power means being unapologetically you. It's not about arrogance, it's about authenticity. When you live in your power, you attract people who respect you, opportunities that align with your purpose, and experiences that help you grow. You no longer need to chase validation because you've already given it to yourself. You no longer fear losing people because you've realized that those who truly matter will never require you to sacrifice your peace for their comfort. Living in your power also means trusting the timing of your life. You've learned to be patient, to trust that what's meant for you will come when you're ready. You've learned that silence isn't a sign of weakness but a mark of wisdom and strength. You know that sometimes the best response is no response, that your energy is too valuable to waste on people who don't respect it. And most importantly, living in your power means taking ownership of your journey. You are the author of your story. You decide how the next chapter unfolds. You get to choose the people you allow into your life, the goals you set and the dreams you chase. No one else gets to dictate your destiny. So hold your head high and walk in confidence. Silence isn't just about cutting off noise. It's about tuning in to the frequency of your own soul. Cutting off contacts isn't just about leaving people behind. It's about making room for the greatness that's ahead. This is your time. This is your season. The silence you've chosen, the contacts you've cut, and the boundaries you've set have all prepared you for this moment. Now, step boldly into your power. Own it. Live it. And inspire others to do the same. Because when you live in your power, you don't just change your life. You become a light that guides others to their own greatness. You are powerful, you are unstoppable, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reach the end of this journey together, let's take a moment to truly reflect on the lessons we've explored. In a world that never stops talking, you've discovered that silence is not a weakness. It's a superpower. Silence gives you space to breathe, to think, to choose your responses with intention rather than reaction. It's in the quiet moments that your wisdom is born and your soul finds its voice. We've also learned that not every relationship deserves a place in your life. Cutting off contacts is not about being harsh. It's about protecting your peace, your dreams, and your energy. It's a bold declaration that your time and your mental health matter more than the expectations of others. Remember, sometimes silence says more than words ever could. You're reclaiming your power. You shift from being a passive participant in your own life to being the main character. You stop living for the approval of others and start living for the person you are becoming. You understand that your energy is precious and that you get to decide where it goes. Every time you choose silence instead of drama, every time you walk away from someone who drains you, every time you stand firm in your boundaries, you are reclaiming your power. Letting go of fear is the final piece of this transformation. Fear of being alone, fear of judgment, fear of missing out. These fears keep you stuck in places that no longer serve you. But when you embrace silence, when you choose to cut off the noise, you find that the most important voice you need to hear is your own. You begin to trust yourself, to honor your journey, and to know that true growth happens when you're brave enough to walk your own path, even if that means walking it alone. Ladies and gentlemen, as you move forward from here, carry these lessons with you. Let silence be your strength, your wisdom, and your shield. Use it to protect your peace and to reclaim your power. Let go of the fear that holds you back. Choose to live life on your own terms, unapologetically, and with a fierce commitment to your own growth. Because in the end, it's not about pleasing everyone else. It's about respecting yourself enough to choose peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and authenticity over approval. Remember that the power to change your life has always been within you. Use silence to hear that voice and trust that the path you choose will lead you to the greatness you deserve. So today, take a deep breath. Choose silence where noise would only distract you. Cut off the contacts that keep you small. Reclaim the power that is your birthright, and above all, let go of the fear that holds you back. Because this is your life, and you owe it to yourself to live it powerfully, intentionally, and on your own terms.